This video is powered by BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% sign-up bonus. Start playing today with an exclusive offer. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports.
What is going on, everyone? The Houston Texans fell to the Kansas City Chiefs 27-19, an 8-point loss, and for 3.5 quarters, it looked like the Houston Texans were trading blows with Kansas City. But before we get into this matchup, guys, we have an update regarding second-year wide receiver Tank Dell. And according to D'Amico Ryans, Tank Dell dislocated his knee and tore his ACL. So he is done for the season, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to wish him the speediest of recoveries. Prayers to him and his family. It looked ugly. If you saw the video, you saw that, his leg was literally sticking out of his uniform. CJ Stroud, very emotional on the sideline. We'll have to talk about that in a second. But before we get into it, guys, this episode is brought to you and powered by BetUS. They're giving you a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. On your second and third sign-up, it's a 125% bonus. Promo code of YouTube150 gets it done. BetUS, quick 24-hour payouts, 24-hour customer service, where the game begins. Now, what happened after the Tank Dell injury? We saw a very emotional CJ Stroud just bawling on the sideline, and a lot of people feel some type of way, not just Houston Texans fans, but the NFL world as well. How CJ Stroud looked weak, crying in front of the cameras. How it did not show any mental toughness. And I could say CJ Stroud was definitely different after that brutal injury to Tank Dell. I think the criticism is warranted, but I think we also need to realize that CJ Stroud is still very young. He's younger than me. I'm 27. This is a young man who is tasked to create history for a franchise that has none. And seeing his best friend, and like I said, his leg was sticking out. It did not look normal. You have to give him that. You have to allow CJ Stroud to show his frustrations, to just really take in everything that's happening at the moment. And it's still tough to talk about. Because if I were to see, my boys Caleb and Jacob here, if I would have saw their leg bend in a way that I've never seen it before, I would be teary-eyed as well. Now, the part where I could give the criticism to CJ Stroud is that after he was entirely different. But I'm not upset whatsoever about CJ Stroud showing his emotions on the sideline. I love that veteran running back Joe Mixon was right there on the bench with him, trying to console him and get him back and ready for the next offensive drive. At that moment, the Houston Texans were down just 1 point. It was the middle of the third quarter. You were hanging with the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was a huge blow. Because not only is Tank Dell a weapon on the field, but off the field also, he's a fan favorite here in Houston. We love Tank Dell. But moving on to the rest of the offensive performance, once again, we're talking about this offensive line not having a good performance. CJ Stroud was sacked twice, but Cody Stoots had brought up in the fourth quarter, the Texans ran 11 plays on offense, and of the passing plays, he was pressured on every single one of them. The questionable play calling, once again, from Bobby Slowik. Where have we heard that before? 4 screens that just went for -3 to -4 yards every single time, setting up CJ Stroud in 3rd and 8, 3rd and long. Now, he was able to overcome that. I think through the air, CJ Stroud did well in terms of making plays when he needed to on 3rd down. Now, CJ Stroud 23 of 39, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, just not good football. But there were some moments where he looked good, but very inconsistent. The first one, he forced a ball to Nico Collins, overthrown, gets picked off. The second one, just immediate pressure from the defensive line, just throws it, and I don't know why he did that, gets picked off. CJ Stroud right now is not playing good football, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we can give the blame to Bobby Slowick as we have done all year, but CJ Stroud deserves some criticism off. Also. Sorry about that stuttering. Your leading receiver of the day was Tank Dell. 6 catches, 98 yards, 1 touchdown. Nico Collins, 7 receptions, 60 yards. Dalton Schultz, 5 receptions, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Dalton Schultz had a huge drop on third down. Other than that, there was no other involvement. From the Russian attack, 14 attempts at Joe Mixon, 57 yards. I mean, once again, could not create anything on the ground. The Houston Texans might have to go into the offseason, ladies and gentlemen, looking for 3 new offensive linemen. And that's where you have to give shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs defense and their DC Spags. The offense has just been a disaster all year. Not only, has it just not been there in terms of play calling, in terms of pass protection, the numerous amount of injuries it's sustained. Nico Collins has missed time. Joe Mixon has missed time. You now lost Tank Dell. Like, the key parts of this offense that we were looking forward to just hasn't been healthy this year. On the defensive side, I mean, you're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, a team that just knows how to win football games. And like I said, that ankle was fine for Patrick Mahomes. Was surprised they were able to get a lot of things going on the ground, but after that Tank Dell injury, man, it just went downhill from there. Notice how I didn't bring up the refs, and we're 7 minutes into the video. I'm not a ref guy. I don't like to say the refs gave Kansas City the win, but they definitely affected it. We're talking about the touchdown that was wiped away, roughing the passer. We're talking about a key sack on third down that was wiped away by Derek Stingley holding. A huge offensive play that was wiped away by a Tank Dell offensive PI. Nico Collins was called for offsides on a first down. You can't be shooting yourselves in the foot consistently and expect to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But ladies and gentlemen, the Texans fall to Kansas City 27-19. And what's crazy is we got a game in 3 days against the Baltimore Ravens on Christmas. Guys, for more Houston Texans content, you know what to do. Feel free to follow me for more. Do not forget this episode is brought to you and powered by BetUS. Quick 24-hour payouts, 24-hour customer service where the game begins.
This video is being powered by BetUS, the #1 online sports book in the world. Use code YouTube150 to get your 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2. That's up to $2,000. We got Christmas football this week, folks. The Chiefs and Steelers and the Ravens and Texans. If you guys want to take advantage of the BetUS code YouTube150 to make your bets right here, go to betus.com.pa. We also got all the other games this week. Make sure you guys check out BetUS. They got player prop bets, same game parlays, you name it. All right, so big time shout out to BetUS. Please bet responsibly. The proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports.
What is going on, everyone? I am also going to give you my thoughts on the other AFC South teams. Let's look at the Indianapolis Colts versus the New York Giants. I think this is just a prime opportunity for Indianapolis to take advantage of a very crappy New York Giants team. Last week, Jonathan Taylor, 200 yards, 3+ touchdowns, making it easy for his young quarterback. That's what he has supposed to have been doing all season. But I think this is also an opportunity for Anthony Richardson to continue to build tape, continue to build confidence, and show Indianapolis that, yes, you are potentially a franchise quarterback. And I just think with the New York Giants and their situation, they're trying to get to as close to the #1 overall pick as possible. They want them Shedeur Sanders. Just imagine that that tandem of Shedeur Sanders and Malik Neighbors. But I think the Indianapolis Colts are going to win this one, and I think they are going to win this one big. Let's go 28-14 Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson looks good. Jonathan Taylor looks good. Moving to the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Tennessee Titans. Now, this is the mid-off, right? This is like the video of the two clowns fighting each other. Both of them, 3-12. They both want to lose this game. What Tennessee, they need themselves a quarterback. What Jacksonville, they want to potentially get themselves a game-changing player in Travis Hunter, who's going through some drama himself. Please, Travis Hunter, leave that girl. But with Tennessee, it's not going to be Will Levis. It's going to be Mason Rudolph. I mean, what more can you expect from him? With Jacksonville, it's Mac Jones. What more can you expect from him? This is going to be an ugly game. Right now, I'm not leaning on either side, to be honest with you. If there was a over-under in terms of points, I definitely would take the under. To be honest, guys, you can say Tennessee and Jacksonville, well, for sure Jacksonville, will be having a new head coach next year. But this is going to be an ugly game, and I think the score is going to be very close. I'm going to say 13-10. Jacksonville. I think once again, they shoot themselves in the foot, win a meaningless football game, and push themselves down the draft order. And when you look at the draft order, there's so many crappy teams. Like, you can't afford one loss.
This video is powered by BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% sign-up bonus. Start playing today with an exclusive offer. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports.